Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Marwinda Ridwan. This video to fulfill final project of Pragmatics. So right now I would like to present about material Pragmatics. Definition of Pragmatics. Pragmatics is the study of the branch of linguistics and the form of language, where a practical action is based on one's thought without depending the meaning of the words themselves. For example, I have you. Pragmatically heard in this sentence means love. Heard are commonly used as a symbol for love, and to heard, someone has come to mean that you love someone. The scope of Pragmatics. The scope of Pragmatics is broad as it deals with aspects beyond text. We could call the speech situation as the scope of science of pragmatic and language studies, because if it does not pay attention to the speech situation, it will not be able to assess a language in pragmatics. Definition of speech age. Speech age is an activity in which there is a person encouraged to carry out an action. Speech age pays more attention to the meaning of the encouragement conveyed by the speaker. For example, Winda, please open the door. The sentence shows that someone told Winda to open the door of his house. The encouragement implies that someone takes an action. Types of speech age. There are three types of speech age. The first is locutory age. Locutory age is the actual age of uttering place the disease. For example, it's hot here. The second is the speaker feels hot in the here place. The second is illocutory age. Illocutory age is the social function of what is said. For example, it's hot here. The speaker requests for someone to open the window. The third is perlocutory age. Perlocutory age is the resulting age what is said. For example, it's hot here. The hearer will open or close the window. Classifications of speech age. There are 5 classifications of speech age, such as the first is declarative. Declarative is a speech age regarding a person's opinion regarding the truth of something that is expressed for certain reason. This declaration can change a person's life because it is based on fact. For example, you are preached a judge who imposes a sentence on someone whose expression can drastically change the person's life. The second is representative. Representative is a speech age that is expressed by a person regarding a phenomenon but doesn't pay attention to the fact at all but prefer to believe it or not. For example, the house is haunted. Speakers prefer to directly observe this phenomena rather than hearing facts from other people. The third is expressive. Expressive is a speech age in which the speaker expresses their feeling more, such as apologizing, congratulations, thanking, and etc. For example, happy graduation, a praise for someone who expresses how proud they are to have graduated to that person. The fourth is directive. Directive is a speech age that leads to an order or request for someone to do something. For example, clean the room. This expression commands other people to do something. The fifth is commissives. Commissives is one of the functions that consider or think about plans for the future. For example, agreements, rejection, offers, and etc. For example, we will make a big business. Planning is about starting a business in the future. Speech event. Speech event is an activity where the use of language is limited by certain situation, speech even pay more attention to time and place. For example, the doctor at hospital that always use the medical term in their everyday activities. Dexis is a word or phrase where the sentence is incomplete, so it cannot be understood completely. Therefore, dexis must have a complete sentence in order to know its full meaning. For example, they were very busy in here last night. The sentence, the word they is a personal pronoun where word they say the speaker may have seen who the person, but in contrast to the reader, where the word they still requires additional sentence being they or my mother, my brother, and my sister were very busy in here last night, while here the hearer don't know specific place, so the hearer needs additional information about it. Types of dexis. There are 3 types of dexis, such as the first is personal dexis. It refers to the people, or the other way, the pronouns such as I, you, they, we, she, it. But sometimes the people cannot catch fully the information when we only say he or she. Without an additional information, or we solve it at the moment to understand it. For example, they are smart. Maybe the hearer can understand because they are in there when speaker say that, but for the reader it's going to be hard for them. The second is spatial dexis. It refers to the place such as there, here, that, etc. For example, I live there. The sentence is meaning that they shall get an additional information to clear the place, such as even the name of the place. The third is temporal dexis. It refers to the time, such as tomorrow, yesterday, and etc. But sometimes it can make reader or hearer confused because tomorrow could be the day after every day. For example, I will go to school tomorrow. The sentence is reader or hearer confused because tomorrow could be the day after every day, so the speaker should mention the day or years. Preposition. Preposition is something that was previously assumed by the speaker as a real event that fits his mind. For example, Winda suffered from altered diseases. Preposition, I think Winda was lazy to eat in the past. A classmate thought that Winda was always late or lazy to eat in the past. Winda got altered diseases. Entailment is a sentence or expression that is logical and follows what is emphasized in the speech. This entailment consists of 2 sentences where the 2 sentences have the meaning of the relationship between sentences. For example, sentence A, my sister studies hard, and sentence B, my sister got the best ranking. The example is explain that if his sister studied diligently, of course his sister will get a rank. These 2 sentences so that the relationship between the uncle and his is absolutely. Analytic sentence is the sentence always true because of the sense of the word in the sentence. For example, my father is a man. The example is general true because everyone knows that the father is a man. There is no father who resembles a woman. Contradictive. Contradictive is the sentence all well false because of the sense of the word in the sentence. For example, a cat is a reptile. The sentence is about this is not true because a cat is an omnivore animal. Synthetic. Synthetic sentence is the truth depends on the fact. For example, Winda is America's sister. The sentence is true if people know the fact and can be wrong if someone doesn't know and don't believe it. Cooperation. Cooperation can be understood as essential factor when speaker and listener are interaction. For example, Winda, when are you coming to class, Andika? Andika, in 5 minutes. The example shows that Andika provides Winda with simultaneous information. Andika answers Winda's question briefly and clearly. However, the answer is quite correct and relevant for questioner or Winda. Principle of cooperative. There are 4 principles of cooperative such as the first is the idea that people cooperative with each other in conversing is generally by greed. The second is the speaker is cooperative and intends to communicate something. The third is that something must be more than what the words mean. And the last is it leads to implication. Maxim. A maxim is a brief statement that contains a little pitch of wisdom or general rule of behavior. Maxims are sometimes written by a single author, for example in the form of philosophical quotation. When a maxim has no specific author, it becomes a kind of proverb, something that just emerges from the culture and survives because people use it, not because any specific person wrote it in a book. For example, Andika, where are the books, Winda? Winda, they are on the table in the hall. Winda has answered clearly all manner and to feel all quality, has even just the right amount of information or quantity, and has directly addressed Andika's goal in asking the question or realization. She has said precisely what she means, no more and no less. Maxim of speech. There are 4 speech of maxims, such as the first is the maxim of quantity, where one tries to be as informative as one possible can and give as much information as is needed and no more. For example, Andika, what will you buy in the market? Winda, I will buy only some books. The example shows that Winda gives sufficient information to Andika. She says without redundancy and responds with are Andika needed to ask. Her remark is appropriate to quantity maxim. The second is the maxim of quality, where one tries to be truthful and does not give information that is false or that is not supported by evidence. For example, Winda, is Australia in Europa? Andika, no, but Australia is in Asia. From conversation so that Winda gave the wrong statement to Andika, and the fact Australia is not Europa, but it is in Asia. So Andika gives assessment with maximum of quality because she said the truth with the adequate evidence. The third is the maximum of realization, where one tries to be relevant and say things that pertain to the discussion. For example, Andika, have you finished your thesis? Winda, yes, I have. In the example, Andika only need the Winda's answer is yes or no. Winda answer related to Andika's question. She has said something what she should said. It will be different case when Winda's answer. Do you know, Andika? The reason is between Winda answer and Andika's question are not relevant and have not connection. The fourth is the maxim of manner, where one tries to be as clear, as brief, as orderly as one can in what one says, and where one avoids obscurity and ambiguity. For example, Andika, where are you going? Winda, I am going to buy something to put on a letter. In example, explorer here purpose to go. There is not ambiguity or obscurity in her utterance. She also answered in a brief utterance. Is a technical term which refers to what is suggested in an utterance, even though neither express nor strictly implied. For example, Winda had some totals food in my home, because the scale in the middle meaning that they only have verbs 3 or 4 totals book, not all of the series. There are two types of implicator, such as the first is conversation implicator. Involves cooperative principle under the assumption that speaker want to cooperate with tend to draw conclusion from what is said. For example, Joe is poor but happy. The sentence implies poverty and happiness are not compatible, but in spite of this, Joe is still happy. The sentence will always necessarily imply succinctly Joe is happy in spite of being poor. There are three kinds of cooperation implicator, such as the first is generally implicator. The sentence that is not relate much from the context given and commonly triggered by indefinite articles. For example, John walked into a house yesterday and saw a tortoise. This expression implies that the house is not John's house. And the last kind of conversation implicator is scalar implicator. Scalar implicator is greater detail of particular sort of implicators, expressing quantity and terms are listed from the highest to the lowest value. For example, I ate some of the cake. The sentence implies I did not eat all of the cake. In the utterance, some of the boys went to the party. The word some implicates not all of the boys went to the party. The second type of implicator is conversational implicator. The sentence sometimes give contrast or the opposite of one another in order for the speaker to give content meaning inside the sentence. For example, Andika, do you like linguistics? Winda, well, let's just say I don't jump for joy before class. Andika asked Winda about his feelings about the class, and Winda said Winda didn't collaborate before the class. It showed the uninspired feeling of Winda about linguistic subject. Politeness, the practical application of good manners or etiquette so as not to offend others. It is a culturally defined phenomenon, and therefore what is considered polite in one culture can sometimes be quite rude or simply extravagant in another cultural context. For example, excuse me, Mr. Andika, can I call you for a minute? The sentence above shows that the student is speaking politely with his teacher. Politeness in interaction. Politeness in interaction can be defined as the means employed to show awareness of another person's page. For example, shall we shoot the window, please? The example is used of personal pronoun we. In place, we are in the same in group, have the same value, and are doing the task together. This is someone's polite in interaction to the others. Kinds of page ones. There are two kinds of page ones. The first is page flirting edge. It's a threat to another person's self-image. For example, if you that. The sentence is a direct speech edge, can give the impression that you have a social power over the other person. The second is page setting edge. something that lends the possible third to another phrase. For example, can you give me that? The sentence is direct speech. Arch in the form of a question removes the assumption of power. Kinds of page saving edge. There are two kinds of page saving edge, such as the first is positive page. Positive page is the need to be accepted, even like by others, to be treated as a member of the group and to know that his or her wants are served by others. For example, your friends ask for a ride to the airport. The example is you think I better take him because I want him to like me and I want the reputation of being a real person. The second is negative page. Negative page is the need to be independent, to have a freedom of function and not to be imposed by others. For example, your friend asked of a ride to the airport. The example is you think this is not comfortable. I don't feel like driving this way to the airport. I have other stuff that I could be doing, like sleeping or saving the gasoline in my car. He can find his own ride. Strategies politeness. There are two strategies of politeness, such as the first is positive politeness strategies. Positive politeness strategies are intended to avoid giving offense by heckling friendliness. For example, let's eat together. The sentence is we show politeness to others by killing other people to eat with us so that they are not offended when we are. The second is negative politeness strategies. Negative politeness strategies are intended to avoid giving offense by deference. For example, I am sorry to bother you. The sentence explains that someone shows respect by the way he apologized to his brother. That's all explanation about our material Pragmatics. I think enough. Please forgive me if you found a lot of mistakes. Thank you very much for nice attention. And the last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.